My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey folks, welcome back. Today our special guest is Sam Sells. That's an awesome name, Sam. Sam Sells, who is zooming in from Texas. And Sam is a very accomplished real estate investor in a few different arenas. So he and his company focus a lot on value add multifamily. So buying apartment buildings with challenges and fixing them up and increasing the value. He also focuses on, I believe, mobile home parks as well. And really big part of the whole thing is about impact, doing some good while you're doing well for yourself and your investors. Plus, Sam is a fellow podcast host. So, Sam Sells, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dave. So good to be on the show.
Yeah, my friend. All right. So I bumbled my way through my introduction there for you, but can you just kind of zoom out and give us a 30,000 foot perspective of what business looks like for you guys right now, mid 2025?
Yeah. So we've shifted a little bit out, a little bit out of the typical value add. And now we are partnering with public housing authorities. So the biggest slumlord in America is America. Public housing authorities own 897,600 units. Most of those are older than 50 years old and are slums. And I don't think America should be a slumlord. So it's time to partner with private entities. There's lots of great apartment operators out there. And what we're doing, it's very challenging, very high barriers to entry. But once you make it through all of the red tape and the long lead time, you can partner with public housing authorities and take over their complexes, tear them down, rebuild them into beautiful new mixed income, mixed use, mixed financed properties that are mostly government funded. So it's pretty cool.
Wow. All right. Well, there's a lot to unpack there, Sam. So I think that's probably we're going to focus on for this conversation. So sounds like a massive opportunity and at the same time a horrendous pain in the ass anytime you're dealing with a government pretty much of any size. So kind of walk me through that slow motion a bit more. They figured, so the government finally clued in that they suck as landlords. Have they kind of?
Oh yeah.
They
Most of them recognize this. There's 3,300 public housing authorities across the nation.
Okay.
HUD, hands off. States need to fix it. I know. We went to HUD. I went to the Secretary of HUD's office. We met with them. They love what we're doing. But again, hands off. States need to fix it. State housing authorities, really city housing authorities, are like, we need money from HUD. And we need a path to get out. We don't know how to do this, and how do you structure bonds and grants and light tech equity. And there's so many different avenues and streams to structure deals. It's super complicated. But that's where we come in and we help them structure these deals. And what that looks like is, on a typical capital stack in real estate, commercial real estate, you're going to have your lender who's going to do your debt. And then you're going to have your investors who do the equity, right? Two people, two groups. Or maybe you have three when you have a preferred, or maybe you have mezz because you're bigger and you're doing a bigger deal. Now you got mezzanine financing and, all that. So maybe four. In this scenario, we could have like 7 or 8.
So, okay. So just like you walked me through that one, walk me through who could be the different people, entities involved in this.
Yeah. So it could be a bond from the municipality.
Okay.
And then the public housing authorities have bond making capabilities, but 99% of them don't know how to do that. They don't know how to get a bond rating to issue bonds, but some do. So they can issue a bond. So the municipality issues a bond, the public housing authority can issue a bond. And let's say it's a $100 million project, and they're both going to issue bonds for $25 million. So there's $50 million funded at treasury rate. So you're 4.5%. Not bad. It's like 2021. I can get a 4.5% loan, like everything pencils, right?
Yeah.
Also non-recourse, no completion guarantees. It's pretty nice. Then you have grants. So now you could have, I don't know, 5 or 6 different grant, whether it's federal grants, local grants, or so forth that can come into play. And each one of those has their own little caveats. Some of those are reimbursable,
Application process, the whole bit. Yeah.
the whole bit. And then you have 4% light tech or 9% light tech equity, which gives you could give you a massive tax credit that you can go sell for 75 or 85 cents on the dollar in cash, and then turn that into equity in your project.
It's
And
getting complicated already. My head's starting to boggle. But yeah, keep going.
yeah, and then on top of all that, now you're at like 85 or 90% leverage. Again, four and a
Of your
half
$100
percent
million project. Okay.
of your $100 million project, and then you come in with investor equity for the last 5, 10, 15%. And so if you're thinking that's kind of complicated, it is complicated. And like we've been a year into this process with one of the housing authorities, just now getting to finalizing the contract.
Wow. So is that the first one of these kind of projects that you guys have dug your teeth into, or have you got something already completed yet?
It's our first one
Yeah.
to finally get through. We've been talking to a lot of different housing authorities. It just takes a lot of time. We had to up our game, hire more sophisticated attorneys, reach out to bigger people,
Hmm.
and get really, really connected. So we got connected with the Secretary of HUD, which can't endorse us or support us, but they can like
Make
what we're
things a little
doing.
easier. Yeah.
Makes it a little bit easier, right? It
Yeah.
just greases the skids. And then
Yeah.
getting to know all the housing authorities and then meeting governors and mayors and so forth, all to give a whole lot of people saying, yes, 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 yes. Go help our people get out of poverty. And so that's what we're doing. We're going to help people get out of poverty. It just, the
Oh,
bureaucracy is insane.
okay. Well, so I can understand the quagmire of government stuff that you have to go through to get this rolling, but let's kind of zoom out and take a
Mhm.
look at the big picture. What's the vision? So the project that you're currently working on, are you at liberty to kind of explain what it is right now and where it is and where you want to take it, that sort of thing?
Let me tell you the big picture.
Yeah.
My big picture is I want to help 1 million people get out of poverty.
Hmm.
And in particular, 1 million people in America, and then help as many other people out as possible. The way that we do that is we create a path. If you grow up in public housing, it's generational wealth to pass down your unit to your kids, your heirs. It's generational wealth because you get free housing, free food, free utilities, free Medicaid. Like
Wow.
it's a big fat check, right? It's not coming into your pocket, but everything's provided for you. Nobody thinks about it that way, but it's true. It's generational wealth, and that's how they think about it. And so for us, our target is to get people out in 2 years into a job making 50 to 60K a year and put them on a pathway to success. The way that we do that is we take over the buildings. We also bring in nonprofits. And then we have a special AI system that we're deploying here in Las Vegas that helps them find access and exactly the steps they need to do. It's really their personal success companion that helps them learn where they can go to become an LPN, for example, spend a year in the pipeline, come out on the other side making 55K a year when they never knew they had access or a pathway to get there in the first place.
Do they
So
even want it?
that's a great question. Some do not. In
Yeah.
fact, we have seen this personally. How dare you go get a job?
Yeah. The
Because
gravy train's gone if they do that, right? That
the
kind of,
gravy train is gone.
yeah.
But one of the things that the new administration has said, whether you like it or not, is that they want people out in 2 years. It's going to be impossible for probably most of them to get out in 2 years. But we have created a system that we believe will get out a lot of people in 2 years.
Okay, cool. All right. So that's the big picture. I love it. Big audacious goals there. What's the particular project that you're working on? Just give it, you don't have to give details about where it is or anything, but what does it look
Yeah.
like right now? How many units? And then what's the vision for what it's going to turn into and who's going to be in there?
So we're in the negotiation phase on the contract to tear down 294 units and build up a 627 unit, 4 to 5 stories. Some of this is yet to be ironed out, but it'll be mixed income, mixed use. So retail, parking, and then part of it will be public housing, part of it will be Section 8, and part of it will be market rate.
Okay.
One of the things that we've learned over time is that you want to help people, you need humans on site. So for example, you're a single mom, you have no income, you got 2 kids, and now you're in public housing. You can't go get a job when you got a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old at home, right? You got to
Yeah.
take care of your kids. And so you can't, if you did go get a job, it'd be like making McDonald's pay. So that's not self-sustainable and they can't live on that. And so, well, go get educated. They don't know how to do that, and they have no incentive. So, it's having people on site that can hold them accountable, and then help them find a path that works for them. Using our AI tool just makes it a lot faster and better, but it still requires human interaction. And that human interaction on site. So childcare on site, an education center on site, job center on site, helping them get the skills and get out of the system. You take away those on-site services, people are left to themselves, and everyone's wondering, like, why don't you go get a job? Like, I wouldn't get a job. I got a free house. I got free food. I get everything free in life. Why
Yeah. Why
would
would
you?
it? Yeah. Okay. So you're basically going to a bit more than double the capacity of the property. What's going to happen to the current residents when you demolish? Where do they go? How does that side of things work, Sam?
Yeah. So the thing that we've created is a system that if once they start making money, they can start paying their own rent, and just it moves from being public housing to becoming Section 8, which is subsidized voucher, and then it slowly tapers off, and then they become on their own without ever having to move. So another reason why people don't want to get off the system is now they have to leave. They leave all their friends, their school, the teachers they like, and they're forced to move out. In a mixed use or mixed income facility, they can stay in the same unit. Now they're paying for their own.
No, but I mean, the current building that's there has to get demolished to build
Oh
the
yeah.
new one. What happens to them, those folks, in the meantime?
Yeah, so HUD moves them out, moves them to a another facility.
Okay.
We like to do what's called a swing facility. So build one, move them into that facility, tear down the old one, build it up.
Okay. But then they get, okay, very, very interesting. That's a huge project. What's kind of your thought about the timeline now that you're a year into kind of dealing with all this and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, a year in, a contract should be finalized, I think, in the next 2 to 3 months. It's government, attorneys, the whole process. When that's done, I think it'll probably be a year or two before. So we'll take over the property pretty close to immediately. And then it'll probably be a year or two of operating before we can, about a year before people start moving out, a year and a half to 2 years before we tear down, rebuild.
Okay. All right. So yeah, makes sense. And in the meantime, what do you guys do as a company to keep the lights on, to keep things going? Have you still got a portfolio of multifamily units that you're managing?
We do have a portfolio. We've downsized the portfolio as we focus more on the public housing because it takes so much hands-on. The investor equity coming in as we fund the project in the beginning, they'll start making money off the housing because we get the housing for free, and we pay no taxes. And did I say this was government funded? So it just kind of makes it really good for
Yeah.
investors.
Yeah.
Uh, Normally, you're trying to get a 2x on your money. We're generally at like a 3x in 5 years is kind of our target for our LPs. It's because there's so much government funding to make it worthwhile.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right. As we're wrapping up here, Sam, just kind of switching gears a little bit. You've got a pretty cool podcast with a very good title. Can you tell us a little bit about your show and what it's all about?
Yeah, disruptive capitalist. So I love capitalism, but I also think we don't need to live a zero sum life where we win at the cost of others. I mean, we've all heard win win, but then we go out and we invest in a way that's like only about profits. So that's not win-win. That's, we're just focused on ourselves. So we like impact investing. There's lots of ways to do that. We do it. Our projects all have a social element to them, helping people get out of poverty, finding a way that generates profits for investors while we do that. There's lots of other opportunities to do that, but disruptive capitalism is all about seeking a way to make a difference in the world while creating wealth and making money.
Very cool. All right, Sam, if people want to connect with you and find out more about what you're up to, especially with this new project, this new focus that you guys have got, where should they go?
Yeah, check me out on LinkedIn, Samuel Sells. Easy to find. It'll say Impact Investor on there. Or you can reach out to me at sam@impactgrowthcap.com. Cap short for capital because somebody owns that domain, is holding on to it like a hobo with a ham sandwich. sam@impactgrowthcap.com. And look forward to talking to you.
Awesome, Sam. Well, keep up the good work, and I can't wait to hear how the project goes.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next one. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.